which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Oh, also, people have sent good vibes, which is always important.
It's good.
So, yeah.
Good.
How are you?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed at the fact that, and like you can barely hear it, like at least in my ears, like I can barely hear it.
The
but
guy?
Like, them doing fucking like landscaping at my neighbor's place right now, which all things aside, like, you know,
it's our fault for doing it at this time.
Well, here's my thing though, is like landscaping is loud. It is what it is. That's totally fine. Like I'm not begrudging them for doing, you know, their job for, you know, my neighbor. My problem is, why are they doing it at 3 p.m.? It's the hottest time of the day.
That's not good for them. Yeah.
Like they're literally out in the sun. Like, why is it scheduled for that time?
I
That's
mean,
awful
shouldn't
for
they be
them.
able to go home and spend their nights with their families?
Yeah, they should work in the mornings.
They had a busy morning.
Well, it just seems crazy. I was like, if I was like a person who worked outside like that, like who like you owned a business of that nature, we would not do appointments
Afternoon.
past noon.
Yeah, it's
like we'll get you there. Like I'll be there at 5 a.m.
Well, maybe that's the thing though, is that like, could you imagine that going off at 5 a.m.? That'd piss off your neighbors.
But they do that. Like other people do that all the time.
So I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, even
noise
like
restrictions lift at 5 a.m.
Well, they were doing like landscaping outside, or like somebody was in some capacity. I think it was yesterday or maybe this morning. And I'm like, it's a little annoying because like the room that I'm in is like, you know, near like the front of the house and I guess outer front of the house. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna complain. Like it's annoying, but like that's it. Like I would never go and complain that you're getting landscaping done. That's kind of crazy,
right?
But I want to.
I just feel bad for them because like this heat.
Summer heat.
It's
111 out.
I'm fucking like, summer has like more or less just started apparently, and I'm done. I'm fine.
Oh yeah,
I've had my fill.
Well, like we were talking about it yesterday when like, because like Brandon wanted me to hang out, and I'm like, just like anyone who doesn't live in Arizona, which is most of you, like
statistically speaking,
the heat is so like once it's really the like 105 barrier.
Yeah.
110 is when it starts getting serious, but like 109, 110, 111, like it is so hot that like even if you like I started my car and then like went back inside and I actually waited like 10 minutes and it was like cool when I got in. I'm still sweaty.
Yes.
Because it's like it will do it, and like because the sun's touching your arms, it's like so hot that like you are exhausted. Like I'm already tired. Yes. Like I was tired from before, and like there's a bunch of little like the seed pods at the bottom of the pool at my house. And so I need to like, I was like, oh, I'll like use a broom and like push them up. And it's like, yeah, you mixed them and then they fell back down. So I'm like, I gotta goggle up and just go swim and just like clean them up, because with the goggles, then it's like super clean and easy. But I haven't done that yet because it's been a busy day.
It's so fucking hot though. It's disgusting. And like, we love to joke about, you know, like
we joke?
Well, we've been known to like have a laugh.
A goof and a gaff.
Yeah.
Not too frequently though. We're not here for silliness.
We love to make a sweaty joke of, you know, like, oh, it's called fashion sweaty, look it up.
Oh yeah.
We love sweaty jokes. But to be honest and vulnerable and, you know, just out here in the open on the pod.
Yeah, we cast in this?
I am a sweaty.
Yeah,
I sweat a lot.
I'm a sweaty boy too.
I'm out here repping for the wet, you know, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. We out here and we're wet.
We're wet,
and it's not good.
And it's not like even like a post-workout sweat where like that's hot.
Right, where like you earned it.
Oh, I just mean like I like it. Not necessarily. I don't care if I'm the one, but like if someone else had just got done working out and they're still sweaty, like that's a good stink.
Yeah, because like you earned it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of muscle girls now.
It's well, I mean, it's different though. It's completely different.
There's a different smell between like you could tell the difference between like a physical exertion sweat, it's Arizona and it's hot sweat, and you stink. Sweat.
Yes. Well,
like
also like a workout sweat is intentional. And so, like, it almost feels like a badge of honor in a way. Like, when you're done working out, like, you often feel gross, but it's
you look at your shirt and
it's
you
like I fucking did that. I put that there.
I put enough sweat in.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to get into the fucking Home Depot. and I cannot get the distance from my car to the door of the Home Depot without being wet.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sweaty, and it's disgusting.
And they won't even put tarps down to just like slip and slide your way in.
Right. Where's
be so efficient.
Where's the little fountain for me to dance in at the front of the store?
I'm the little man peeing.
There you go. Even better.
Oh, to be a cherub and pee in public.
And I just like and most of my like childhood and everything, I had very short hair. That's not the play anymore. Now I have longer hair. It's not the play. It's not the play.
I mean, I use that a lot, but like I enjoy that like you having shorter hair as a kid is like that's not the play anymore.
It's just not the play anymore.
Like everything's a tactical decision.
Well, it was. As an active youth, you need short
me going
hair.
to Great Clips because my mom took me there going, get the Caesar cut because that's the only one I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And they're like, what number do you want? And I'm like, cut it.
Cut it. Yeah. And so like, but now, not short hair, I have longer hair and I'm like, this ain't it. And then like, God forbid I forget to bring like a hat because like a hat will excuse a multitude of sins. You just sort of like shove all the hair up under the hat.
Although you can't even wear a hat for long. Like,
well,
in my experience, like if I wear a hat, like it'll start to like it's like maybe because of my hair too, but like it'll make it hotter. Like it only does so much, like for a point until it's like now it's a burden.
Well, for me, it's not about keeping me cool. The hat does not help with that.
Oh, it's fashion.
Well, the hat keeps it from showing my disgusting, literally sweat dripping hair. And it keeps hair from hitting my forehead and making me sweat even more.
Forehead.
Fucking forehead. Yeah, literally. So it's like, just get it off my forehead. Hello. And just like, put the fucking hat on.
What the fuck? I got to cover up the label because we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored. And yeah, and so like, and it also has to be the correct kind of hat because I'm going to start to sweat through the hat. So like, it can't be like a white hat because then that's going to look gross real fast. And it's too much. And I know I already told you this story yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we hop into it, should we say hello?
Sure.
I'll give him a little something. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome
To the
Hell yeah. Sweatcast.
Sweatcast. We talk about sweating.
Oh, it's getting hot and sweaty, slick, and stinky.
I will say, I like, of course, like if you sweat, like it can definitely start to smell. I am fairly lucky in the fact that like while I sweat a lot, I don't like.
Flex.
I'm just saying, like some of us are out here sweating.
They call me Spigot.
There you go. I don't like it like I'm not like it doesn't like reek, I guess.
No.
Like it's that aspect of it's fine. I look ridiculous because there's literally sweat pouring down my face. But like I smell fresh and that's okay.
Yeah, like it is not uncommon to like in Arizona like to shower multiple times a day. If
Yeah,
like
'cause, like,
you just so nasty.
You go out to the stores and stuff and then you get home and you're like, I just feel fucking gross.
Like now I'm cold because of the sweat strained
Like I
shirt.
need something to refresh me.
A beverage needs to be refreshed.
So yesterday.
Which apologies for not getting the podcast out this morning, Wednesday morning. I don't know if we have it released tomorrow or
probably sometime tonight.
Yeah, we just
you'll have it.
It was a doom scroll day.
Things happened, and it's okay.
And people notice.
People notice.
Yeah.
So yesterday, earlier in the day, back when it was still a better day, I was like
in the before times.
Yes, I was like, I'm gonna go to Home Depot because like I was like I need to get some plants. I have all these like planters and stuff.
It was when your day was still me. Like
Yes.
that. You know.
Yes.
For the most part you understand.
You understand?
Yeah.
I was there. I was like, all right, we're gonna go get some plants.
I'm going on an adventure.
Exactly, and we're gonna do the damn thing. I'm gonna
so
get
ready.
plants. I'm trying to be like I'm trying to be a better me. I'm trying to grow and change. I'm trying to keep plants alive.
I'm trying to fucking finally organize my goddamn closet.
Yeah, so it's like, you take little moves. So I'm like, I can keep plants alive. It's really not that hard. Just literally like
Water it.
put them in a place where they'll get sun, not too much, and give them water. And get something that like is hardy, like a succulent. Ta-da! Then
Succulents, because do you have to water them every day?
not every day. What? And they also like they're not fragile. They can do well in a lot of environments. Depends on the succculent, but for the most
God
part,
forbid the succulent dies. Like you got a bunch of other fake ones. You probably won't even notice.
Exactly. Also, that's the other.
You kind of just gotta like make it your routine.
Yeah.
Or like you gotta like incorporate like checking the plants for water with your like morning whatever. Like after my morning meeting, I typically will then like get up and I'll like, all right, Lucy, do you want to go potty? Let's go like run the pool filter, fill up the pool if I need to. Like, all right, dishes. Like a whole little like half hour of like avoiding work, but like, okay, I'm doing some house stuff, and then it's like that will always be at a general baseline.
Yeah. Well, that's the other nice thing about succulents are succulents for the most part already look fake, kind of. So like posers. Fake succulents look convincing for the most part. Whereas like if
it's
you get like
a plant with a little glasses and the schnoz.
Whereas like if you get like a fake like people have like fake trees like inside like a fake like ficus and stuff, and I'm like, girl,
you know who had a fake ficus? Ian.
And they look very fake. But like succulents, they already look kind of plasticky and everything, so it works. Yeah. So you get away with it. So like that's the play, is you mix the real succulents with fake succulents. That way, like, buffs it out. You don't have to worry about keeping so many things alive. If the succulent dies, you just pull it out and just replace just that one part, and all the rest of the succulents are fake, so they're still alive and it's fine. So anyway, I needed to go get plants. So I bopped on over to the Home Depot, and I was like, it's gonna be fine.
Depotted plant?
I got there and it was.
Did you buy the big ceramic vases that you see where they're like, it's like an urn?
Yeah.
For the Kiva?
I did not, but I did see them.
The word Kiva seems fake. Like it's dumb.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I don't have a whole lot to add. I'm going to let you go off. But like, you know, there's like a minimum words per minute that I got to contribute. Very much so against my contract. There is no limit. But like, it's actually limited.
That part.
So I put the ED in limits.
It's not the only ED you got to deal with. So I get
yeah.
So I go to the Home Depot, and it's fucking hot.
Fucking goddamn it!
Oh god, it's fucking hot. I drive there, like I am lucky enough in this house I have a garage, so like the car is like it's not cold, but like, you know, when you get in the car it's not too bad.
No.
And then
like you let it sit for a minute, and like because the whole heat thing in the car with the AC, you either, if you park outside, you got to drive fast to like kick the engine to blow more air into it, or you need to be able to let it sit for a while,
because otherwise you're sitting in front of what is effectively a hair dryer blowing on your fucking face. So
I don't care how hot it is. I don't want to get blown.
No, not like this. So, you know, I drive to the Home Depot, and like that part is like okay, because like the car wasn't too hot, so like we're cool. The second I set foot outside of that car, and I was able to park close to the door. The second I step foot, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a problem.
You entered her domain, or not yet? This is before
the
domain.
No, this is before I got to her domain. So like it's just
you met a druid.
Yes. So something changes when you step outside, and that changes the heat.
When you open the door of your car, even if your car is still on, it just immediately fills.
You feel it.
It's like getting hotboxed by the sun.
It just gets you. And that was the moment when I realized I was like, should have brought a hat. But it's too late. I'm outside of the car. I'm not gonna drive.
You don't have a car hat?
No, I do not.
Brandon's a car hat guy. I will forget a hat, and that becomes the car hat for a bit.
That's fair. I know. I should invest in a hair. I'll invest in my hair.
Like just like a blank cap, just something that you just leave like in the dashboard or whatever. It doesn't matter if it gets fucked up.
Yeah. I have them like literally like at the door. Like I have like my little rack where I can throw my keys, and there's like hooks on it.
But if it doesn't match the fit, and you're gonna park close next to Home Depot.
Yeah, but I always wear black, and there's a black hat, so it's gonna be fine. I don't always wear. I pretty much always wear black. So I was like, okay, it'll be fine. I'm gonna. It's okay that I don't have a hat. I'm just gonna get in the store. I can't even get in the store before I'm already sweating, and my hair is down. It's over my forehead, and so like it's like I can feel it. Like it's happening. There's sweat everywhere. It's okay though. I step into the Home Depot. This
bitch is drenched. It's
cool outside and cool inside though. So I was like, okay. And like when you walk in the doors, like it has like the big fans.
Yeah,
like,
stores don't last if they don't have good AC.
Yeah,
which so bless our old work office for actually keeping that fucker cold.
So I'm inside.
The least they could do.
Who needs holidays when you have AC? you get in and like I was like, okay, it's all right, but I was like, fuck, the plants are in the garden section. I gotta go in the garden section. The garden section is outdoors. It's hot. So I was like, it's fine. So like I get out into the garden section. Mm-hmm. There's immediately a problem. Oh, beyond the heat, which is a problem.
I already know the story, but this is already better.
I get like there's an area that I'm trying to shoot for. It's an area that says succulents.
You looking for the suck?
I need the suck. There are 2 individuals currently standing in front of the succulents.
Enemies.
Enemies to lovers.
You cannot rest when there are enemies nearby.
It could have been.
Well, I think they were. They could have just been lesbians.
It could be.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
No, because they became friends.
They did. Although there was some tension there, which we'll get there.
Oh, sexual or
no?
Oh,
about just the difference in
Oh, that's right.
Preferences.
Her belief system.
Yes.
You ever just disagree with someone's on their fundamental
Something
beliefs?
so fundamental.
You know what's funny is that there's double entendre, but like it's also kind of true. You'll see here. Y'all are in for a treat.
So,
without further ado,
something you guys may or may not know about me. I'm a nervous, anxious person. I don't like people. I know.
But I'm people.
Well,
you got bad news for me, honey.
It's too late.
Like a wasp, I just weasel my way in through the seams of the windows.
There you go. So like when I go to a store, if I'm going to a store and I know what I want and like I just have to grab it or whatever,
you can't keep it from you.
They can't keep it from me forever. There's no worries. There's no strife. I just go to the store. I don't.
It's just the hula girl on the truck dashboard, and like that's your life. It's right. Just like it's good. Things are easy, man.
I don't like live in. I don't live in like fear or discomfort of being in the general vicinity of other people. Like go in a store, it's okay. I know what I want. My problem is if I'm in a store, where I have to like make a selection that's gonna take some time, and I gotta like do some compare and contrast, like.
You should have done that online. You fucked up.
Exactly, but then you can't. So like at Home Depot, I'm buying plants. You can't just like go like I need a succulent, and there's 8 of them in a row, and you grab that one because they're all the same. They're not all the same. They're very, far removed from it.
I'm just remembering when you clowned on me because I got real excited about the cosmic cactus succulents.
It was painted.
It's just a painted plant. It's fake, and I'm like, this is so cool.
In that moment, that was the closest I've ever felt to like a busy mom.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was literally like, it's painted. Come on. Like,
I don't even remember why we were there.
I was buying something because I was ringing it up while you and you just happened to be with me. Because then you were looking at the plants, and I was like, I've checked out. We need to go. I've checked out. Let's go. And you're like, look at these plants. I'm like, they're painted. Let's go.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm discovering a lot here in this Home Depot.
So I hate when I have to like be like choosing, because now I'm like, people are judging me because I'm sitting here and like
now there's a clock
looking at the plants, and like they're gonna be like looking at me, looking at the plants, and they're gonna be judging me because this is where my brain goes.
Well, and also like you clearly aren't a plant guy. You're
right.
Clearly a poser.
Right. They're looking at me thinking like, what does he know about plants? He doesn't know anything about plants. Look at that fucking nerd. He doesn't know plants. What does he want plants for? He's gonna kill those fucking plants.
What nutrients do you give your plants?
My God. On a different, I won't tangent too far, but on a different Home Depot trip, I was buying like a tree for like literally for my mom, and like this woman like cornered me, and she's trying to talk to me about like, well, like, do you have the right soil? Like, you kind of know what kind of like nutrient blend this kind of tree needs, and I'm like,
an employee or just a person?
Just a person.
That's
I'm
balls.
like, I don't know you, and you need to leave me alone.
And they weren't even cute.
And you're doing like the awkward like laugh thing of like, haha, yeah, I guess I'll have to figure it out. Like, just kill me, not kill me, kill you. I'm gonna leave. Death to all of them.
Drop dead. I need this ficus.
So I'm looking at these succulents, and I'm getting anxious sweat. We got heat sweat and we got anxious sweat because
that is going to be a little stinky though.
Yeah, because I'm like, people are looking, people are thinking, people care. No one could give a shit less what I'm doing. But I'm like, people are judging me for looking at plants. And there are 2 ladies. One of them is associate, one of them is not, and they're standing right next to the succulents. And in the moment when I like stepped out into the garden section, I saw them there in front of the succulents. I was this close to just turning around and going, I'll get them on a different day.
I wouldn't put it past you.
And it was like
I've done the same.
It was literally the only thing I was at Home Depot for.
Like,
but I was like,
I'll go take a lap around the store.
Right. I was like, I'll go buy something else. I'll find something. There's always something to buy at Home Depot. You can always use something. But I was like, no.
I've heard they sell cordless drills.
They do.
Not sure if I'm ready for that.
So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to like, suck it up and just get the fucking plants I need. Just get in, get the plants and get out.
Mm-hmm. A real quick job.
So I get there and I'm trying to like sort through the plants. And I start overhearing this conversation between these two people. Mm-hmm. And like I said, one of them an associate, one of them not. The one who's not an associate is talking to her, and she's like, she's asking her, she's like, oh, it's so hot out though. Like, like, do you like did you like pull the short straw to like be out here, like, like working a shift out here? Mm-hmm. And the associate woman goes, oh no. She goes, oh, I love it. She goes, I volunteer to be out here. She goes, I used to be here, every other day, picking out plants and stuff. And so finally I figured, like, why not get paid for it? And the other lady was like, oh, hi. She's like, really? You like the heat? And she's like, oh, I love it. She's like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Is she really saying it like that? Or are you being like a little bit of a bitch with the voice?
She's kind of saying it sort of like that.
Like it's kind of like she's horny for heat.
Like there was like inflection of like she was very like
expressive, like, oh, I love the heat.
She was like performative of like her like, oh, I love the heat. Like, like, oh, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Melissa's
and it's
monologue.
Literally, I'm like this is not.
That was a meme for Josh. Like Josh can't rise up.
Like, this is not big ups for Josh.
Big ups.
I'm like, this is not a day at your improv troupe. Like, we get it. You like the heat, but she's like, oh, I love it. Wouldn't have any other way.
I stay in the kitchen.
she's like, it's amazing. I love it. She's like, I literally like volunteer for these shifts. I love to be out here in the heat like all day or whatever. And the other lady who is like me is like, dying of the heat, is just sitting there. She's like in front of one of like the big Mr. fans hogging it. So I don't get to have any while I'm looking at my succulents because she's like,
Well, she's in line to look at succulents.
Well, she was here first, and then she was hot, and she needs to like, park her ass in front of it while she's talking to this associate.
Yeah, why don't you go make that swamp ass? Good job.
Complaining about the heat, standing in the heat. I'm like, lady.
It's so hard for the people. That's why I'm going to record a video singing Imagine.
Literally, I'm just like, what are you all talking about? And so then like the non-associate who is like fanning herself and like very hot and everything, she's like, well, are you from here? She's like, I'm from the East Coast, so like I just can't handle it. And the associate woman goes like, oh no. She goes, I'm from New York. She goes, and I knew at a young age I had to get out of there. I had to get to the heat. She's like, because I love it out here. She's like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Jesus.
And I'm literally sitting here, I'm like, what are you? Like, what are you?
You're like the opposite of a snowbird.
Like, what is this? I'm like, people don't like heat. Stop lying.
That's
like,
not true.
Like, what are you doing? But then people do, and I'm just like,
well, who would like it? First and foremost,
I'm like, y'all live a different life. You live a sweat-free, dry forehead kind of life, and that's not me. No. And it was hateful. And I got my plants, and it was so hot, and I like dragged my ass in the store and like, rang them up and went home and everything. But the whole time I was just like, you really like the heat, huh?
This sucking fucks.
Yeah. And I went home and like,
sucks. Same thing.
Wrang out my underwear.
Mm-hmm.
into a
glass.
Well,
recycling.
Well, I put it into a coffee press, a French press. And, I make myself a glass.
Is that just when Brandon squeezes your ass, the old French press? Well, it's
disgusting.
Like, to also say things that we already said yesterday in the trial run, I have my boy Tom, who is cool as fuck, was also stabbed a bunch of times. And then just like walked it off, I guess.
That's why he's cool.
No, he was cool far before then. But like, this was one of those like, Jesus Christ. And it explained like why he's got like a click in his jaw when he eats. It's because it's, But apparently, I found out that it is his favorite time of year in the summer because he lives for it being 115 degrees and your car's like 130. And he just loves to sit in the heat like a little lizard. He won't even start his car. He's like, those few minutes that I get are the best. They're sublime.
It's not right.
It's wrong. And then he keeps his house at 79. And I've been wondering for years. For years, we've been going over and playing at his house. Like when we play D&D or Gloomhaven or whatever. Magic.
I could not routinely play at a house
No.
that was 79
I
degrees.
almost borderline just want to like bring a fan with me.
Yeah.
Because like we don't have the overhead fan on, which we used to, because there's lights on it and like it'll do the flicker, and that fucks with Lauren, and that like, it does me too. I get it, but fuck, man, it's so hot, and I like don't want to ask him to turn it, like, can we turn down the AC, because I know he likes it hot, and like actually adjusting the thermostat is like, I feel like you can't really ask like the owner to do that. A good host should recognize, be like, oh, I can turn down the air a little bit. Sorry, I just tend to have it warm. But, like, then again, I'm also not complaining to him about it. I'm not saying anything, so it's like...
Well, because it would feel rude.
Yeah.
Unless you're, like, close like that. Like, if I go over to, like, Brandon and Taylor's and it's hot for whatever reason, I'll be like, why is it hot?
Oh, yeah. And just, like, well, and, like, shame them into doing it. I mean...
We'll just ask. Be like, why is it hot?
Can we get a fan on medium, please? And the fact that that's a real thing. That's a meme, but also based on true events.
Well, and also, like, their place, they don't usually, like, let get too hot. So then if it is, I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Is there an AC problem? Why is it hot?
Brandon, you would let a problem persist?
What's going on? Now, if I go to my parents' place, that bitch is not going to turn down past 79, and I know that, and there's no argument to be had. That's just it. So I don't say anything.
You gotta wear loose clothing.
You just live with it.
You gotta keep it fast and loose when you're at your parents' house. Yeah. I get it. Like, ugh, I can't with this fucking heat. It is just oppressive, to the point where, like, I'll be like, all right, Lucy, let's go potty. She'll sleep all day because she's just puggy. And then I'm like, all right, let's go potty. And we go outside, and she goes and takes one step, and she goes and just sits and just looks at me, and she's like,
it's a mood.
She's like, it's too hot, Uncle Steve. Uncle Odie. Unky Odie, please, it's too hot. And I'm like,
please, officer, it's too hot.
Are you sure? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, if I bring you inside, are you going to poop in the house? And she goes, almost definitely. Yeah. I'm like, you fuck. She's only done it the one time at this house, so that's nice, but we'll see.
I miss having a pool more every day. So I'm like,
build one.
Well, actually, like, if I'm in the house, it's fine, because, like, this house is not going below 76.
No,
so, like,
this house is
we're going above 76, I should say. So it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as I'm, like, in my house, everything's fine. But the problem is, you can't just be in your house. You got to go places like Home Depot.
In my house, it is unreal, the level of, like...
The Unreal Engine.
Of, like, where the airflow hits, because the coldest place in the house is the best spot to sit in the couch where you're dead on.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I don't know what it is about vents that I can't figure out. Like, terrible imposter because I can't vent.
They're directional.
You think. And I'm like, oh, like in my office, I'm like, oh, I want it to like blow on me while I'm working because that'd be so much better. I like did tilt it down so that like at least it flows down more, maybe cools down the room with all the stream stuff. But like when I'm at my work computer for like regular job, the fans like are like the things right there, and it goes out, like it goes the other ways from me, and I'm like, this sucks butthole.
Man, you sucks butt.
And I don't know how to fix it, but I'm learning. I'm Googling. And I bought a chair, and I'm so goddamn excited. It'll be here between July 1st and the 6th. And technically, it's already shipped since I bought it, like, this morning.
Yeah?
Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I can't wait to put my big-ass ass on.
He loves his fat ass.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you, baby.
Thank you, baby.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. I was thinking about, we were talking yesterday how you had mentioned that like when you were younger, you were a trifle wild.
I was a trifle wild.
Mm-hmm.
My spirits would just run away with me.
Yeah. How like you would watch like the Grace and Mamrie podcast about how like, yeah, we just like go and do things so that we have things to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Like that part of the conversation has like sat with me because I'm like, yeah, like y'all would think, like, we've done what, like 40 some odd episodes, I think?
Yes.
Almost? Or I think we're in the 40s.
I believe we've done 42. I think
like,
this is 43.
A lot of times we just start going, but like when there's not a whole lot going on in your life, it's harder to think of things.
Yeah.
Like to get running or going. And
or the flip side, if there's a lot going on, but nothing that you'd want to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Then it's like, what else is there?
Like it's either like not like it's too personal, or it's just like, there's interesting things, interesting developments, but it's like not my thing to share. So it's like, ugh. But I was thinking about it, and my buddy Lyndon's coming to town in September for anime convention, and I was like, cool. And I'm like, I gotta remember when that is, because I want to probably try to do like a low budget cosplay thing. And then I'm on Instagram, and apparently between now and then there's like 3 or 4 different sized like anime convention, more or less, in Phoenix. And I'm just like, I could go to events, maybe. It'd be wild. But more importantly than that, you gave me the worst idea yesterday.
Okay.
So
you're gonna take a foraging class.
No. What are you gonna forage out here?
Agave.
Votes.
Oh. You don't have to find. If you don't have to forage for them. They're just like, you know.
Oh, forage.
Yeah.
There's an A. Oh. That's really funny if you're up to date on Arizona politics. No.
And if you are, I'm sorry.
I went to Zia Records yesterday because on Saturday, when I only had a limited amount of time, I decided to go to Dreadnought Comics, which is over in Phoenix. It's like Bell Road or some shit. And it was a very big store. And I expressed on Sin Stream that like I was disappointed with it and whatnot. Also, real quick, thank you everybody who showed up to Electric Sin's fundraiser stream for their wife Evie Static for like all the legal name change stuff. We were able to raise them a lot of money, and they're able to get everything like started and going, and a huge stress relief, and that's cool. Yes. Also, Halo, fix your servers.
It's not their servers.
I know, but I don't want Evie to feel bad.
But I mean, it wasn't Evie's fault. It's just.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could have been. I think it was Sin's fault, actually.
Well, taking up all the internet.
Sin's out here with a shout out command that doesn't work, and then it's like, I know Odie told me, and I called them while they're live. I'm like, you still haven't fixed this? Here's the string, and they're like, and then they got it to work once, and then it didn't work, and I'm like, I don't know. Stop using what you're using. Use something else. But not my place, not my fish, not my fry. So I went to the Dreadnought Comics place because I've been wanting to get more manga. Because I'm a weeb. But rather because I just like reading it to the point where normal, or I guess like non-manga, like comics just in general, like online, like I read in the wrong order because my brain's just used to reading right to
because you're a weeb.
Yes. And so I was like, I want to like see if they have like anything that like I've already watched, but like I'd like to read it because like it is cool. It's a different feel, different vibe, and there's always stuff that they include and don't include. And it said that they had just recently in 2020 or 2021 had just like doubled the size of their manga section. And I'm like, oh, cool. Now, I understand that there's a lot when it comes to like comic books and all of that, manga and everything, that like there's a lot of different strokes for a lot of different folks. Also, they put a lot of like when you make graphic novels and stuff in comics, like you can make all your characters hot as fuck.
Right.
Men and women, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like all the toys. Because to me, there's a difference between like a collectible statue or like a statue versus just like a figurine versus like a toy that was like marketed and sold as kids. Like it's just a small little action figure and like they sell 1 million of those. I also don't care for Funko Pops. We've talked about them before.
Talked about this. You understand.
Yeah. I don't want to Funko Pop off about it, but you know.
It gets me in a real funk.
Really?
Pop.
Yeah. Oh, Pop. I'm
Pop.
funky.
Boy Zero.
Boy Zero. No, it was like 2 like bookshelves worth of stuff, and it was like, I'm sure this is just how it is at like stores that aren't solely dedicated to it, but it's like there was stuff, but like stuff's picked clean, and it's like you're not getting the first volume of anything.
Right.
Like rarely. Anything that's remotely popular, you'd have to like order it, which apparently when I was talking about it at Zia Records yesterday, one of the guys is like, yeah, it's not a good place for that, but they're good if you just like order online, like they'll get it for you. So no worries there. And I'm like, that's cool, I guess. But like all it was like Marvel and DC comics, which makes sense because like comics.
Right.
But my brain didn't associate that at first because my major experience with all of that is through like Marvel movies.
Right.
Or like the TV shows, like not the source material.
Right.
So I went in there and I'm like, ugh, this is just like for like Marvel fanboys.
Well, and that's like comics, so that's not manga because like it's not, Like those are different things. Didn't they say their manga section was like expanded or whatever?
Yeah, to 2 bookshelves. That's the rub. That's the rub on that one, King. Is it was 2 sections. It was like 2 little things, and like they did have some cool figurines that I may like consider like going back and getting one. But it just was like, it was disappointing after reading that, but like I kind of like worked up my own, expectations.
Yeah.
But like they had so much stuff, and they had so much like old stuff that I'm like, this is all the stuff where like, your weird uncle was like, you better hold on to that, it'll be worth a lot of money. And it's like, yeah, now you can buy it for $15 instead of like the 10 that you bought it for. Sweaty. Flipping, making monies. And it was just disappointing. But at the same time, I'm like big ups. It was a really cool store if I was more into any of those comics, really. And the big thing was that I'm like, there is a difference between like sweaty Marvel fanboy like esque and like, I don't no hate on it. I'm just using like stereotypes to be a shit. But like, of like, oh yeah, like, Avengers is good movie times. Mm-hmm. Like that's cinema. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, sure. Whatever you want, man. It's a great movie.
It's a movie that was very successful.
Suicide Squad 2016.
People don't want to admit it.
I liked it. You liked it.
I enjoyed watching it. Mm-hmm. I will not say it was a good movie. I enjoyed watching it. And that's what matters.
Yeah, it's a good movie to me because it's like, to me, a movie is good if like you enjoy watching it. So it's like, it fills my like, it's absolutely flawed.
I'm so tired of like having to like make the argument thing of it's like, you're like, oh yeah, it's good. It's just like, it's just not for me or whatever. I'm like that's great. To take the step to make that concession, but it's like, you can just say like, something that's bad, like you like it, and like, or the flip of that. Yeah. But it's like I'm sure Avengers is a good movie. It could not be that successful if it wasn't. It's not a good movie to me because I don't fucking care about it. Like I don't want to watch it. Yeah. And like that's okay. Like that's enough. Like yeah. And same thing of like Suicide Squad was not a good movie, but I had fun watching it.
Yeah, it's very
fun. So
like
that's enough.
It's like it's definitely good. Like it's a good popcorn flick. Yeah. We just like go see something fun. And I liked the new one. Didn't we go and see that?
Yeah, I would go so far as I think the second one I liked it and it was good.
Yes.
The first one I liked it. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good. No. I thought it was a lot better when I first saw it in theaters. Like it didn't like hit as much until like a few days later, like letting it sit. And you're just like
upon review.
It turns out I was wrong.
I was like,
But it was I don't know. It was an experience, and then like this just isn't like my vibe. It's not what I'm here for, and like it's fucking hot. So I left, like in my car. Like, yeah, like
the store wasn't. It
no,
was just hot out.
And there was 2 sweaty nerds, and like I'm like I'm not gonna say anything, but like, boys, please.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you guys are men. You guys are older than me, please.
Yeah. You should know better.
Meanwhile, I went to Zio Records because I'm like, oh, I'll get there and I'll have like an hour. Mm-hmm. The last place I looked in the store, I went in. And I went like clockwise looking at everything because Zia Records is a place that is packed. It is
full.
like a Goodwill, but of good stuff.
Yeah, of stuff like you actually care about.
Yeah, like you will find something you're interested in there. It is 100%. It is hard to not like find something. And so like I'm like walking around and looking. And of course, the final last place I look, like right, like literally to the right, if I would have walked in, all along like the buy and trade section is all the manga. And I'm like, okay, cool. And, I like the HelloFresh thing, like I got my payout and everything. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like,
get your PayPal.
Well, like I decided, I was like, okay, I'm like, I want to get like, I had already bought Spy Family Volume 1 on Amazon because I wasn't able to find it at the other place. And then, when I was at Dreadnought Comics, I bought this manga called Chainsaw Man, which also has an anime, but like it's fucking sick. It's weird as shit, but his chainsaw dog devil. The dude gets killed, and then his dog goes, "I'll be your heart, bro. Chase your dreams." And like right now, his dreams are to like touch boobs.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's it. Like he's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not hunting devils for my family, like for like the safety of people. Like this other demon girl said that like if I helped her get her cat, she'd let me touch her boobs. And I've never touched boobs, so I'm ready. And like you kind of got to stand like a simple-minded king.
I thought, doesn't he like not even have hands? He has like chainsaws for arms.
He's able to do on his chest. He has a little ripcord, and so if he has some blood, like either like his own or something else's, he can then like rip it and turn into like his devil form, which has the chainsaws. I just got to the part where he found out he can retract them.
Okay.
Which is cool, but he's not permanently like that.
I was gonna say because like if
it's a little hard to touch boobs with chainsaws.
Yeah, I would feel very bad for the boobs in question.
Mm-hmm. Well, that way he can take them home. That's fucked. I'm sorry, but like, it was on the table. I got it.
Well, they will be once he's done with them.
Oh God, yeah, there it is. There's our weekly mastectomy joke.
God.
Oh God. But like, anyway, I ended up like, so I went to this place and I'm like, oh, they have stuff. And it's like, I understand now when people are like, yeah, I haven't been able to get the second volume. I have all the other volumes that are out except like number 2. I haven't been able to find it yet. And it's like, so I'm waiting until I get it.
Right.
I understand that now because it's like, to me, I'm like, they should always have multiple copies of the first volume of whatever it is. And it's like, okay, well, like One Piece has been coming out for like 30 years.
Right.
So no,
right.
You got to go find an omnibus or something for it, which is just, like mega compilation shit. I ended up buying like $100 worth, like about like $8. Although I am a little sad because I bought Golden Wind JoJo because I got the first one sent to me from my throne, and then they happen to have the third one, so I'm like, I'm not gonna read it yet because I want to read the second one and continue on. But I'm like, I gotta go find it. But I bought like a bunch, and I bought like fucking like 2 through 6 of fucking Chainsaw Man because it's good shit. It's quick. Like I read it in like, I don't know, 30 minutes, but it was a lot of fun, and it felt really good to just be like, I'm totally fine. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, this is a lot. I shouldn't do this. And I'm like, no, you absolutely can. And it's like, you would be spending it on yourself regardless. Like, you're good. Yeah. And I actually let go for a moment.
And let God.
Yeah. No, I like let go, and I was like, no, like, this is cool. Like, I'm fucking stoked. And like, I did it. And I got to tell you, it was a rush. Treating yourself can be a rush because in the past, I've treated myself when I really shouldn't have, and I get immediately racked with guilt to the point where half the time I return the thing because it's like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, treating yourself when the actual the means of opportunity exist in that moment. That feels good. Different.
Like when I got like a big bonus when I worked at the hotel, and that's when I bought my Xbox One and Destiny, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then it's like, we're getting evicted, and I'm like, I got an Xbox. It's not my problem. You didn't read the lease, dumbass. Sorry, James. Love you, buddy.
Let's have that conversation.
I don't know about that. But I do have a bit of a hard out today because I got a co-stream. I do also need to pee real quick. But we could go into Quick Wit Wit unless you have some more stuff.
I'm good.
Because like I also don't mind like having just like we talk. I say it every time and we never do it. But like the idea of like tighter, it's good. There's less bing bong. So
what you up to?
Give me just a moment.
Hey.
Vamp, commercial, whatever.
Hello, yes, hello, yes.
Promote the health,
Introducing the Hell Yeah Podcast Limited's newest available product is not available yet. The Health Yeah Gamer Beans, where we give you gamer HP and you give us money. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Those beans don't do anything. Controversial yet brave. I'll say it. The beans don't do shit. They ain't never done shit. They're funny to eat as a meme, but they don't do anything. They don't do anything. We were playing Overcooked, not with Steve, because Steve doesn't like Overcooked because he's a loser. So I was playing it with some other friends, and we were like, hey, you know what'll help us focus? Game of Beans. So we had ourselves some Game of Beans, and we were trying to play Overcooked, and it wasn't going any better. Part of that may have been because one of the friends in question was Brandon, and he was getting increasingly drunk, and so he was getting less and less helpful. But I think the Gamer Beans should have offset the alcohol, because they should have helped him focus. And, he was drinking a Blue Moon, and that's kind of like blue light to get filtered out. We heard none of it. Yeah. I was having whisper time. Just a little bit of wisps. Will o' the wisps.
But yeah, so didn't we have a new question time song?
Yeah, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, that's why I love Quick Wit.
Ow! Quick Wit. Brought to you
today
by whom?
our live studio audience.
Furby?
I think he may have passed, actually.
Oh God.
Our unalivened studio audience.
Well, our manager has recently been under some legal trouble.
You understand?
He keeps telling us we understand him, but like, Rudy, I don't know.
Rudy, I don't understand. You can't just keep saying that.
It's a spicy old reference. A ghoul.
A ghoul. Rudy Giuliani.
Let's see what the fuck is going on.
What is up, Kyle?
Oop. All right.
Oop, let me squeeze on past
Safe asked,
Hello.
what movie, book, video game, etc. was so sad you'd never go there again?
Oh.
Requiem for a Dream. I don't ever want to watch it again.
So sad.
It was great.
When the Legends Die was so fucking depressing as a book. It was so depressing. I had no desire to ever read that again.
Was it good?
No.
Oh. It was just sad.
It was just sad for the sake of being sad. It was not. Oh God, I hated it.
I don't like things that are like.
I mean, like, I get the point of it because it was trying to like talk about like that experience, and like it was fucking like sad and fucked up and everything, and like I get that, and that totally has merit, but like, oh my God, I'm never gonna read that again. Yeah, like
God, could you imagine reading it knowing what's gonna happen?
It's just depressing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because I can't think of a game.
No.
Games have made me sad, but never in a way that I would never want to like touch
if a game makes me sad, it's almost a reason to replay it.
Yeah, like Halo 4 like fucking broke my heart at the end, but like in a great way, like in a way where I was like I would play it again.
Yeah, like Undertale made me fucking cry my eyes out, which I really didn't think it would do, but like nope, yeah. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I cried. Have you ever survived anything dangerous? If so, what happened? Every day, because I got people coming for me.
I've been like adjacent to a lot of car accidents, both in terms of like they happened near me and like barely missed my car, and then also on 2 different occasions I like was supposed to be in a car for whatever reason, and then for whatever reason wasn't. Like at the last minute I was like, oh no, I'm not going to, and then like that car got in an accident, and like the seat I was in was like
destroyed.
Yeah, so I would have been like not in a great spot. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I've had near-death experiences kind of all over the place, but nothing that I really want to like go into because not necessarily fun things to think about. Yeah, but that's also literally kind of like that was the other part of the comment. Like you don't have to answer if you don't want to, so it's like you go. So we had that one. Let's see. What Chloe asked, what moment from a movie, TV show, video game is unintentionally hilarious?
I mean the entire
Halo, the Halo show.
Oh God, yeah. I was gonna say there is an infamous episode of Star Trek Voyager that is supposed to be very serious, and it's called Threshold, and it's so bad. It's so bad, but it's hilarious because it's so bad. Because it's like it's done earnestly, even though it's terrible. It like. On so many levels, it's bad. It's like it's just not good. It looks bad. It's built on like a completely flawed premise of their like an actually interesting premise of their like it's this idea that like evolution doesn't always go in the direction that we think it will. Like like we always think of like the evolved form of something would be like bigger and better and like amazing, and it's like, well, no, that's not what evolution is. Like
it just adapts.
Right. And so like that could take a human and turn them into like this ridiculous salamander thing. It's like, yeah, okay, that's in and of itself, that concept just as a sentence, sure. But
The effects.
The effects are bad. The concept is ridiculous. This all happens to one person. And it's like evolution does not occur within one person. It occurs over generations.
You just got turned into it. Like you just got cursed.
Right. You were.
It's
turned,
not evolution. You
were
just
turned
got
into
cursed.
a salamander. You did not evolve into anything. So it's bad. But it's funny because it's bad.
Yeah. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, honestly, like, it's just
other than Halo.
Yeah, Halo's the most recent thing in my mind that like sticks out where like it's not trying to, it's so bad it's funny.
Yeah.
Loop asked, what's your guilty pleasure early 2000s song? Throwback song. Examples like Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus, Yeah by Usher, Just Dance by Lady Gaga, etc.
I love Yeah by Usher.
Yeah.
That song's great.
Yeah. That one's pretty good. I like it.
Sounds good. Yeah, or I'm trying to think of one other than the one that they listed.
There's, I think it's Gwen Stefani sings it. It's like it's like all about like it's like a like bump like B at some point, and it's like, why don't you fucking shut the refrigerator door or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? It may not be Gwen Stefani. It's I can never remember what it's called, but there's just that one part that I always like really like, and I remember being like coming back home from swim meets and shit, and it was on the radio.
Yeah, I don't know. Also,
my immediate thought is Black Beatles, but that's not early 2000s.
Well, neither is Poker Face.
2011.
Yeah, or like maybe 2010. Well, maybe
no,
it was 2009.
But that's
not early.
Loop.
Also, is early 2000s? Is
Doesn't
that
matter.
like 2008?
I think it's just the energy. I would say it's the aughts.
Okay. Yeah.
On the spot, I could never think of it.
Yeah. I mean, like actual early 2000s, like I fucking love like early 2000s Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Like that shit's my jam still. Always will be.
Yeah. Infinity on High. Full stop.
Yeah. Well, I think that was also kind of mid 2000s.
Still.
But it's fucking great. So okay.
Otherwise, it's obviously Aaron Carter's "I Want Candy."
Oh god. Now that's early 2000s.
Did you have any niche hobby / interest growing up that you haven't gotten to delve into as of late that you'd like to get back into?
I've gotten into a lot of them within the last couple of years of like going back to like, buying Bionicles again and having them again. Having some like of my old like Thomas the Tank Engine shit, like the actual like the HO scale model stuff of everything,
like an adult version of it.
Yeah. So I've already had some of that stuff. I don't know if like a hobby.
Yeah, not really. For me.
Yeah.
I miss racquetball, but that was like when I was like first in college. But like, there's no racquetball courts except like I'm not paying ASU $1,000 to be able to use it.
Yeah. Oh, riding my bike. I used to do that all the time as a kid, and then like did not touch it after 6th grade until like now again.
Yeah. Because why should you?
Well,
that's what's up. Oh, Eli Nom asked. Question to Odie: what's a good book place, website, or other to find a decent price manga? Fuck if I know, man. Let me know if you find it. Apparently, I can't. We are looking for questions. Lauren Walters here.
Lauren Walters. Live on the scene.
Live on the scene. Would either of you want to do voice acting outside of ASMR? If so, what is it? You both have very distinct voices that I think would do really well.
Well, thank you.
I don't believe that, but thanks. If I did, it would be like a kind of like a dumb deuteragonist best friend character. I understand.
I mean, like, I have no interest in like pursuing it. If someone asked me, like, sure, if the opportunity presented itself, but I'm not actively seeking it. I get really like anxious about reading. Performing like other people's scripts and stuff. Like I
was so nervous doing like the close-knit one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think I would be until I'm in the room.
Yeah, because when I'm the one writing it and everything, like I know it intimately. I know how I want it to sound and everything. And I get really up in my head when I'm, doing it for someone else about like, well, what direction do they want it to sound like? What voice do they want? Because there's, you can say the same sentence, dozens of different ways, and it means whole different things. And so like, I guess if it was a situation with like, if it was sort of like the old school version of voice acting more so, where it's like, like doing it like in studio with like someone there in the moment to sort of like tell you how they want it, like I guess that would be different because you sort of have that direction. But like I'm sure nowadays, just in general and also specifically like, post-COVID shit, like it's all just sort of like, remote, and so it's like you record it and just give it to them or whatever, and so then it's like you don't have any feedback until it's already done. So
or hopefully they give you some feedback. You just have to be like, is my craft honed? Yeah,
like the few times when I've done like voice lines for other channels or whatever, like small scale stuff, like because I get so up in my head about like I don't know how they want it to sound, like I do like multiple takes of everything just because I'm like I don't know what they're gonna want, and I get like real like about it. So I mean like if it presented itself, but it's not something I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm sure it would be very nerve-wracking.
If I got asked to, I'd do it because it'd be fun. But that's probably because I don't do any sort of like voice stuff at all. So it's like it would just be a fun thing to do. I don't know if it'd be any good. But like you're like, no, I know I could do good. So now it's like you have this pressure of your own self.
Yeah. Well, it's like I know I can do it in a way that some people like.
Which is honestly like the thought just came into my head, and like yeah, you do have like all your characters and you do different voices. I'm like, you never do voices. Like I never would have thought that.
What?
If I didn't know you did ASMR, like you're not a voice guy.
Oh.
Because voice people, they do voices.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I do some, but, like...
Well, we do joking around bits. But
right. Well, that's voices, though. Like, we both do voices. Like, we'll pull shit all the time. Where,
we're
like...
voice people?
We are voice people. Like...
fuck. I can't believe that.
We literally
God damn it. Oh, man. I want to kick my own ass.
We're a little less, like, improv troupe about it. But, like... we pull voices.
We're not her.
We're not her. And we could never be her.
I don't want to be
God.
her.
Big ups for Josh.
Big ups for Josh. Rebecca asked, what's something that everyone knows is true, but we don't like to admit it?
I don't know. Whatever you're thinking is bad. You don't have to start a positive change in your life on a Monday.
Oh, you're right.
Or like you don't have to like, start doing that thing or whatever the thing is at like, I'll wait till it's like an even time on the clock. Like I'll wait till noon. Mm-hmm. I gotta wait till like increments of 5. You don't have to. You could just start now.
You could also just stop what you're doing and go pee.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait until you finish this document.
Yeah, you could just take care of your bodily needs.
You'd be surprised. That if you're not following me on Twitch and or subscribed, that you're missing out, and that's the truth.
People don't want to talk about it.
They don't. You could be the Odie fan of the day, even if you just showed up, and you can make me do shit and give me money,
and stuff will come up.
And I will say you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's also my phantom version of myself cracking his knuckles, going, "That's right."
You had to fucking do that.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So, yeah, you understand. Mariah asked. Maria asked, have you ever in your life thought, never again? What was it about? Yes.
Yes.
Walking to the corner store in my neighborhood, never again.
Yeah.
For many reasons.
I think that often. But I don't know that I could think of an example.
I'm gonna make one very tiny reference, and it is not in any way that you guys would understand, and it's not what you're thinking, but you'll know. My Little Pony.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a waiter.
Never again.
What's something you think that you think no one else thinks?
What's something that I think? What?
What's something you think that you think no one else thinks? Like,
what's something that I think I'm the only person that thinks this thing?
I mean, I know the truth is, like, over self-conscious thoughts because everyone else is too concerned with their own self-consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even on other people's radars. You could be like, I'm so sorry I was doing this. And it's like, oh, what? I was worried about, like, my shoes.
It is that really weird thing of being, like, very, like, intimately aware of the fact that, like, you know, what, like, when I'm picking out succulents and I'm like, everyone's looking at me and everyone's judging me. No one gives a shit about the random guy standing in front of the succulents trying to pick one. Mm-hmm. And I know that, but that does not help in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Because you can see you.
Right.
You know you.
And I know what I look like.
Exactly. Yeah, that's basically what's up. Yggdrasil asked, should humanity have a goal? If so, what is it? Well, they shouldn't say it out loud until they've started to work on it. Otherwise, they'll stop.
There you go. Survive.
Honestly, no. I don't know. I think there's too much pressure, man.
I don't think, like, humanity as a concept needs a goal.
I just want to, like, hang out and, like, watch anime and play games with my friends. Yeah. And, like, yeah. I think sometimes we put, like, at the very least, like, in America, there's so much, like, pressure about, like, always be, like, working towards something, always, like, doing something. It's like, you're also allowed to just live. Like, the goal of humanity is to experience life. You should listen to Arrow of God by Cyne, Cyne. It's a top tier banger. Brandon and I listen to it every once in a while. But there's, like, a quote where it's like, you know, eternity is here and now. It's the moment between moments where, like, you know, you don't know you're in eternity until you're in it. But it's not like afterlife eternity. It's just like, you know, essentially like a flow state kind of. Mm-hmm. So, interesting stuff. Let's see.
Also, maybe get to space because that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would also be sick, but not like... I don't like however Elon's doing it. I don't want to do it that way.
But also, like, don't, because I don't care, because I'll be dead before, like...
anything cool happens.
Like, meaningfully in space.
I would love for, like, to like, confirm the existence of aliens. It'd be genuinely terrifying because it's just natural, but it's just as terrifying that there's nothing else. So it's like, I at least like to see one. I don't have to meet it.
It would be cool.
Just to know.
I'm afraid that it would
destroy everything.
Make things even worse somehow.
Yeah, but, like, it could get worse regardless.
Well, and I'm not talking about, like, I don't think the aliens themselves will do something bad.
Unless they have penis fingers.
I think the realization that there is alien life, like, in Star Trek and stuff, like, that was sort of, like, the moment that, like, brought all of humanity together.
Not our humanity.
That is not what is going to happen in real life.
The Catholic Church has already said, like, the Pope said, like, if there is alien life, like, you can still believe in God. It's totally cool. So it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean, Francis? Huh? Yo, Frank, what's up?
What up, Franny?
Papa Fran.
Papa Fran.
My boy Sis. Mm-hmm. I'm looking to see. We may have already hit all the questions. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn. Yeah, we did. Oh, wow.
We'll kind of shoot through them.
Oh, wow. Fuck. Quick, it always takes so long.
Yeah.
We really said we're going to keep this one tight, and then we did.
Bet.
I don't know. Bet. When you eventually have time, because I know lately you've had your green thumb, we will be doing a onesie stream on my channel. Yes. On twitch.tv/Odiepus Rex. Yes. And we're going to be playing Corby.
What?
Corby.
Oh, yes.
Corby.
And you're going to be the roach.
The roach.
I still got to pick who I'm going to be.
Meta Knight. Yeah.
Problem is I don't know how it would, like, how good it would look. I mean, you'd have the wings, which is cute.
Yeah. You give yourself little hip wings. That'd be cute. Everyone loves hip wings.
Bitches love hip wings.
Yeah. I'm a bitch. I love it.
I mean, like, my favorite is King Dedede. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know how that would translate in a onesie because he's wearing, like, a robe.
You kind of just...
But, I mean, like...
wear, like...
You could just
make it the
onesie.
Robe. Yeah.
Make a onesie out of the robe.
Mm-hmm. It's possible. It's possible, if you will.
Pasta.
Are there any games you're looking forward to? Like anything at all that you've like heard is coming out or?
No, I haven't really like. Well, I mean, like I'm still excited for the Dead Space remake.
Oh,
that's coming.
Mm-hmm. It's been confirmed.
They've shown some teasers. I'm excited for that. Mostly because like, I really want it to be good, not just for the sake of itself, but also because like I love Dead Space as a series and I hate the direction it went. So I would love for it to get new life in some form. So I'm excited for that. I don't really know. I haven't heard too much other stuff though that's like coming. Like there's stuff that like I hope is coming, like a meaningful expansion to Halo Infinite would be pretty cool.
Oh.
That doesn't seem to be coming anytime soon.
Well, the multiplayer, they got a battle pass.
Oh yeah.
It takes a lot of work to come up with shitty cosmetics to put on there.
Yeah. A sequel to Prey would be amazing, but I don't think that's coming.
I'd be kind of curious how they would do it.
I imagine it would just have to be like a different, like, I don't know. Because I mean, like,
it is good as a standalone though. I still need to play Mooncrash.
Mooncrash is really fun, and Mooncrash is cool because it's like it's a different place, it's a different thing,
roguelike,
but it's
right?
the same kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like Mooncrash. I enjoyed it.
Every time that I've replayed Prey, but like up until like the game crashes, because like there are some weird like zones. Is I remember where a lot of neuromods are, and I'll focus on getting them. But like, there's main quest line stuff that the game tracks, but it also tracks your neuromods and will start making
them. Yeah.
Well, the hyphen keeps spreading.
Right.
And it's like fucking shit. Because I will say the last act of the game, when you're against like the stuff that starts shooting at you and shit, like that part, like the difficulty spike was huge. Like it felt like it was out of nowhere.
There was a severe difficulty spike, but at the same time, that was when I finally realized to invest in like enhanced movement.
Oh, that's the first thing ever. Ever since then, it's the first, like on a playthrough, it's the first thing you do is get speed.
Now it's the first thing. Because on that one, it was like, it luckily went in tandem of like, oh, like it got so much harder, but like I now can like fucking fly, which I needed to in order to survive how much harder it had gotten. But yeah. Yeah, and Mooncrash is really good. It like when I was very first playing it, I wasn't like understanding like the concept really, in the sense of like what like how you're supposed to be playing it, like what it like is, because like it's sort of presented to you as like we're gonna tell you like 5 different characters' stories kind of a thing, and then like you realize it's like okay, well no, they all intertwine in like in meaningful like ways of like not just like the story is connected. It's like no like actions that you take on one character are then going to directly influence your run on that next character.
So you do one character at a time?
Yes.
Do you go back on them, or only if you have to like reset essentially?
So the ultimate goal of the game is that like you need to do one perfect run where all, I believe it's 5 characters unless I'm remembering wrong, all 5 characters escape. They all have different escape conditions. And like there are things that only some characters can do that you have to do first to set up yourself to be able to escape.
You need to go and fail a bunch of times to figure it out.
Yeah, you have, because like it takes a long time. Because like I mean like I'm sure you could look it up and like quite quickly get to like but like that one I actually like enjoyed learning it because one of like say your second character that you play, they're the only one that can ever learn how to like hack, and so like.
Can you choose the order that you play people in?
Yes, I think so. Either you pick the order or it's like it's set in an order that you would need. I can't remember which one it is. I think you pick the order.
Do you ever go back and like once you play one person, you can like play the next one, then you might go back to the other? Or no?
Yeah, you'll have to go back to the other one. So like you can end up playing the same character like over and over and over again, and like every time you play it is a little bit different. So like
I meant like in a single run.
Oh, no. Within a single run, you only get each character once.
But it's like, hey, if you're the hacker person, make sure you go stop by and hack that terminal and then keep going because, like, that'll open it up for the other person.
Mm-hmm. And, like,
who needs their beans.
Because each one can only learn certain skills, each one, like, within, like, their own, like, neuromod. Because, like, neuromods and everything are still a thing, but, like, and you have to go get the neuromods, but you still have to, like, learn those things, and certain characters can only learn certain things. And yeah, it's really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And like it's random every time, so like you might be like, okay, this time like I know like the game plan. I'm gonna do like my perfect run of escaping, like with all 5 characters escape, and you run downstairs to like get to like the thing that you're gonna have to do. Like my first step is I gotta like unlock this door, and there's a fire this time. The whole thing is on fire, and it's like I have to go around now.
And
you
it wastes time.
Yep, and you have limited time because like it's all taking place in a simulation. Like it can only go for so long because it starts like getting corrupted.
Yeah,
and so then like more enemies start showing up. It starts getting worse.
It also makes you just want to play Hades.
I've never played Hades, but yeah. And like
it's good.
And each time you play it, like different doors will be locked and stuff. And so like
you can't like just memorize the path because it's like you might not get that path.
Right. You have to like memorize alternate paths because like the time that like one time I was like, okay, this is the time I'm gonna do it, and it's just I got absolute garbage RNG. It was terrible. It was down. Like this door is locked, so I had to go the long way. There was a fire here, so I had to go this way. It was like, and so I didn't get it. And then the next run I got it. But yeah, it's really cool. It's it uses all of Prey's mechanics, but it's set up in such a different format, which is fun. I like it. So like more of that would be cool. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Are there any games you were looking forward to? I imagine Pokemon.
Yeah, the Scarlet and Violet look cool. It's supposed to be multiplayer, which may only be like in the like in like open areas, but like apparently it's supposed to be entirely open world, and you can like play with up to 4 other people. So that's I don't know exactly what that means. Like they haven't released a whole lot on that, but it's like that's really cool. Like you could be my rival in that sense, like,
right?
And like the starters look really cool. The like and like Lechonk is my favorite. I want that little pig.
Have they said like what like the for lack of a better word like gimmick of this generation is? Like it's Gigantamax or whatever?
No. We haven't seen any of that. Which typically they won't reveal that till closer after the summer. It is interesting that this is the first game where there's 2 different professors, and like I did like a little like reveal video to it when I watched the trailer so that you could see like my real reaction on my YouTube channel, but it's not good. Don't watch it. All the edits were funny, but I picked up this like vibe of like when I was looking at like the starters and like the people like the professors that I'm like. One's like focused on the future, one's focused on the past, and like I guess the names of the legendaries in like Japanese and stuff like mean like past, present sort of thing, or future, whatever. So kind of cool that like that's like a theme. So like I think Violet is more futuristic, whereas the other one's primal, which kind of sucks because like the lady professor is hot.
Yeah,
I mean the guy professor is hot too, but he's like in like the sleek like cyber. Whatever, it looks like just a little too rounded. Like he's fit, but like
my son knows about cyber.
Like when people do futuristic, it's like smooth.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah,
it could be cool. But no, they haven't released the gimmick. Aside from like they've shown some Pokemon that are going to be in it. Stuff's like again like open overworld stuff, which is great because that was really fun in Sword and Shield. Like in the roots, like. You could see the Pokemon spawn and whatnot. The battle UI, they continue to clean it up and make it look sharp, which is nice. The Pokemon centers look really cool. They're like gas stations, kind of, like a coffee stand, like an expanded Dutch Bros.
Okay,
if that makes sense. Like it's hard to describe, but it's cool. Like I say gas station, and that makes it sound bad. Like a clean QT.
Yeah, I watched the trailer, but I remember seeing it, but I can't remember like the details of it.
That's basically like all that's really been released. The like Seda and like whatever the dude's name is, like they're studying something or whatever. Your rival's the girl with like the green streak, and she's like super competitive, which is kind of nice. So it'll be cool to see what they do with that. Otherwise, like they just really haven't released much, but that tracks because it's kind of like the cycle. There's tons of leaks, but like you never know what's true and not.
Yeah.
Some people like sometimes there's good ones, sometimes there's not, but we'll see. Either way, I'm stoked for it. It's more Pokemon, and it's like a new one because like
it seems like it's a lot sooner than maybe I've been out of the loop, but it seems a lot closer to have like when Sword and Shield dropped than previous gen gaps, but I don't know.
So the thing is that they release a lot of games. Like in particular, we've kind of been like treated well. Pokemon games release dates. Show 57 more. Yeah, no problem. So, like historically, like Sword and Shield came out in 2019, November 15th. So this will be 3 years later. For context, they're not actually in order. God damn it, on this list. What was before Sword and Shield? Was that Sun and Moon?
Alola? Yeah.
Yeah, Sun and Moon came out. If it will. Why is this not in chronological order? That's so stupid.
Is it in order with sales numbers?
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out in 2017, which were like they used to do like red and blue, and then yellow, which was like a special version, gold and silver, and then crystal, ruby, sapphire, and then emerald. And then they came out. They did black and white.
And Black 2, White 2?
Black 2, White 2, which are the only times that they did like genuine sequels to the games, and those are like pretty well loved. I liked Black's storyline. I honestly played Black and White. I think I played Black 2. I don't remember it really at all. But like they tend to do that now. They like we had like Pokemon X and Y, and they never came out with Pokemon Z, and they never did anything else with it. And X and Y were great games. And then Sun and Moon, and then Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which is more of like a rework, vamped, better expanded story, some different selections.
The Ultra Beasts.
Yeah. But yeah, like they come out like every couple of years. But the thing is that like what's big is that like the Diamond and Pearl remake came out November last year. And then the Legends Arceus came out this year. So it was like a boom, new Pokemon Snap came out last year. So like last year there was like at least 3 major Pokemon games that got released. And so sometimes they'll have like years where you're getting like a couple between like their apps and stuff and everything, but it's not. I'm really mad that this is not like in order. There we go. Bulbapedia has it.
I'm excited for in Pokemon Go in July. All of the original legendary birds are coming into raids.
Oh, okay.
Which I need because the only one I have is
Moltres?
Yeah, I only have Moltres.
Oh, I think I have extras. Yeah, I've completed my my Kanto Dex a while back.
Those are the only 2 I didn't have. Yeah, I'm gonna catch them.
Yeah, in North America, Red and Blue came out in 98. Then the next year they came out with Yellow. God, they really have like every fucking Pokemon game. Between Ruby and Sapphire came out in 2003, and then Leaf Green and Fire Red came out in 2004. Emerald came out in 2005. Like these are like arguably like the more like main ones that I would consider. Diamond and Pearl came out in 2007, so it was like another 3 years before the next like generation.
Okay.
So it
so
tracks.
It's like three or 4 years or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember like what, because like the gimmicks are more recent. Like at least in my memory, like I think Gen 3 introduced double battles for the first time. So you'd fight with 2 Pokemon out. And then Gen 4 was Diamond and Pearl. They had contests that you could do, which are kind of fun. They were fun in the remake. And then Gen 5 was, because it was Diamond and Pearl, it was like Black and White. They had, Black and White had something interesting where like once you beat the game, if you like one of the games, I think it was Black, if you beat Black, you could then unlock like challenge mode where it's a harder, like the hard version. If you had White and you beat the game, you unlocked easy version, which is dumb. Because why after beating the game and doing everything would I then want to play an
easy version?
And they're only and like they're exclusive. It's a little funky, but there's some cool stuff with it that you could always do. Otherwise, though, like that one was like they really went like experimental with like the story, like N and everything, Team Plasma, and then what was it X and Y did Mega Evolution. That was the generation where that came out. That was really cool. Sun and Moon had Z moves, and also started the regional variants, which is a great way of reskinning Gen 1 Pokemon to get people to keep playing. And then, Sword and Shield had the Gigantamax or VMAX, whatever Gmax shit, Dynamax in general. So it kind of sucks because it's like everyone wants Mega Evolution to come back, and I don't blame them. Like, it's fucking cool.
I think I mean, like, as a complete outsider, I feel like it might, because like Pokemon Go's pushing it really hard. Mm-hmm. Like they did like a whole revamp of it and everything, and they did like all those quests about it. So like maybe they're trying to like get it back in people's heads again. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, they like are all of they like Pokemon Go like isn't canon because like Meltan you can only get from Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And like that was a very hotly debated topic at the time. Like personally, I don't like that because like you should be able to get them in the game, but then there's also mythicals. Like I don't know if it's considered a mythical or not, where like you essentially need to play Pokemon Go in order to play it. But like mythicals are like the Jirachi, Mew. They're typically you don't need them for Dex completion, but it's nice, and you typically can only get them at like events or distributions and shit. So
yeah. The other thing with Megas is that like a lot of them look really cool, but then like, again, as someone who like is not super into it, like I've watched like all like the stuff we're talking about, like the Dex entries where it's like every Pokemon that's like Mega evolved is like in a state of incredible pain because they've been like pushed too far, and like that's why they're like so powerful, is because like they're all fucking pissed because they're like literally in agony.
Yeah, like you gotta exhaust. Well, like that's fucked. Like it is like that.
Which that was a hell of a choice to make that decision.
They do dark shit all the time in Pokemon. But like they did what's nice about like I preferred it in the games because basically regardless of what you do, like you can only kind of like the Dynamax, you can only Dynamax one Pokemon in a battle. So can the other person, like you could only Mega Evolve one, but once you Mega Evolve it, it's Mega Evolved for the whole time, as long as it's alive, which is cool. Also, they made Mega Gardevoir, which looks like she's wearing a wedding dress. In the shiny version, it's a black wedding dress.
Ooh.
And it's my waifu.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got on that.
I just wanted to evolve my Gengar into a Mega Gengar. Not evolve, but
Is it shiny?
No.
Mine was.
Yeah, that would be great. But like regardless of that, like I just, so many fucking raid battles, it's like Gengar would be the best. I'm like, that's great. I can't Mega Evolve him because you won't give me Mega Gengar candy.
Yeah, they just don't.
Because in order to get it, you have to fight a Mega Gengar. And I'm like, well, guess who's not in rotation?
That's your fault.
Mega
Flop.
Gengar. Mega fucking Gengar.
Yeah.
They're like, let's bring back Mega Charizard again. I'm like, no one wants to fight Mega Charizard.
Hey.
Everyone has a billion Charizard.
Hey, we're going to do a
candy.
quest so that you get a whole bunch of Mega Pidgeot candy, like you give a shit.
At least it's different.
I mean, at the time, it wasn't for me. I was so annoyed.
I guess. I'm just like, I can't get any fucking Mega candies. Like, the ones that like, they gave me Mega Beedrill candy, which, like,
Yeah.
that in of itself wouldn't be terrible because, like, you know, it's
kind of cool.
It's good to have a good bug type because, like, there's not many. But, like, my Beedrill, the only Beedrill I have, is really bad. So I was like, well, shit, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
And then, like, for whatever reason, because, like, back in the day when there were so fewer Pokemon in Pokemon Go, it was like you had, you know, what does Beedrill evolve out of? Weedle?
Yeah, Weedle,
Yeah.
Kakuna.
There were Weedles left and right.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a Weedle in 2 years. So it's like, I can't.
I see them all the time.
Oh, I haven't seen any. Well, plus they've been doing so many events lately
Yeah.
that it's like, there's always like specialty Pokemon around.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh, no.
all I got are Wimpods. A million Wimpods.
Fucking pods. Oh, I do like Wimpod, though.
Well, because I mean, like,
Wimpod's one of my favorite Pokemon.
it's going to take 400 candy to make him into the biggie boy.
Galipsopod.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Catching it in Sun and Moon is really fucking hard. because it's actually spawns. Yeah, Wimpod, it spawns in the overworld, and if you start to like go towards it, it will run away from you. So you have to like
sneak up on
it, and then if you attack it, like if it takes any damage, its ability will go off, which makes it run away.
Oh, isn't it Wimp Out?
Yeah, Wimp Out.
Yeah.
It which is like a really cool, like it's very funny. Like I like that. But
interesting.
Are we cool with being serious for just like one moment to kind of like cap it off?
Yeah, sure.
So things happened on Friday last week. Important things, and for anyone who's a United States citizen, and like honestly, we doom scrolled about this yesterday, and so like we didn't record because we were just depressed, essentially.
Pretty much.
But with the repealing and overturning of Roe v. Wade, which first of all, it's a little sus.
A little sussy box.
It's kind of stinky.
Sussy SCOTUS.
Sussy SCOTUS, exactly. And like, you know, even though like we are men, like it does still affect us, maybe not as directly, but like also just with the other things that could happen. But if you are someone who's in the United States, especially if you're in a state that has trigger laws or is going to be starting stuff, which is right here in our own backyard, there are a lot of resources out there via different places. I don't have them on hand, to be honest, but like in the communities and stuff, like there are lots of resources to reach out to get what's necessary if you need it. But the big thing that I'd like to say is like, if you have not registered to vote and you live so in the United States, please do.
It's very important to vote at all levels.
It's not fun.
Just for the presidency and everything.
On all levels except physical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But seriously, like local elections, everything like those things matter. Midterm elections matter. It's not just something you need to care about every 4 years.
And like, it's as dumb as it sounds, like it's worthwhile. Like if you could do like, you know, Arizona does mail-in ballots. They've been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. Like it's worthwhile to just take the afternoon to actually look up all of those people and see where they stand on things and whatnot. Yeah. At least as far as I'm able to understand from the research that I've done in Arizona, in terms of like pro-choice candidates, none of them are Republican. So do with that information what you will, and just Google
them, and stuff
will come up. But yeah, fuck SCOTUS. All my homies hate SCOTUS.
My fucking SCOTUS nuts.
It's fucking terrible.
Literally.
If you are Canadian and into me, call me so that I can get a green card. Thank you. I gotta shoot my shot.
Shoot it. Why you still can?
Because there won't be a safety net soon. And like, if you think that this is the end and you don't take it seriously, like it does affect more than just, you know, abortion access, or like, you know, they're talking about overturning contraceptions in general, gay marriage. Yeah. And I think some of our fans are gay.
Oh. Wait, did they say something?
They didn't have to. Y'all out here really just out yourselves. I mean, a spin cheap, but you know, it's hard. But like making jokes is sometimes the only way you can kind of like, you know, laugh through the pain. But it's important to do so. Also, you know, overturn gay marriage, even God forbid, the sodomy laws. So you're not even gonna have privacy in your own bedroom. So, you know, these people are really out here watching goddamn Handmaid's Tale saying, that's fucking great. I'd love to have that. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Rory was in it, and she's the worst. I hate Gilmore Girls. So
well, she's not the worst.
No, Lorelai
the worst is Lorelai.
Yeah, but, you know, if you're the spawn of it, she didn't do any better.
The sins passed to his
Although
son.
she does a lot of shitty things.
Well, yeah, including
she cheats
her
constantly. It's tough being a wet piece of bread. You know who is great? Luke in Luke's house. I gotta show you the fight scene. The fight scene's great. Anyway, yeah. So reach out. There's people in the community. There's, you know, always, you know, pro-choice, pro women's rights. You should have autonomy of your own body. Fuck all that other bullshit. And yeah. I don't know if you have anything else. I just feel like it's. I don't want to like ignore it. Like it feels important, but we also don't need to like dwell on it. Hence the end.
There you go. No,
So.
it is very important. Vote. Register to vote.
It sucks. It's not fun to do, but it's important.
Yeah. Make sure you know what you're voting for and all the implications of it.
Even if you're in a county or area or district that like is the opposite of what you would vote, still vote because those numbers do matter.
Yeah.
The only way to get your voice heard, like this is the way to get your voice heard. And
thinking that like your vote doesn't count because of where you are is like literally the kind of shit that like they're counting on. Like things can change. Like in the last election, like Arizona went blue, which was fucking nuts.
It was absolutely crazy,
which was great, but fucking nuts.
It was wonderful. It felt so good.
It felt really fucking good.
I felt so smug. Tyler was at like a big, she was at the Legion, which is like all like Republican veteran stuff. Like, and she said like, because Fox News called it. And like they were the first to call Arizona for blue, and like she goes, it was one of the best moments of my life because the level of anger and rage, and I'm just sitting there smugly sipping my drink. She goes, it was perfect.
Yeah, but that's a prime example. Like
you'd be surprised.
It does count, and it's important, no matter where you are.
And if you are going to any local protests at all, please make sure you stay hydrated, be safe, let people know where you're at, and also be peaceful. Because very much so, they already started doing it. Like people at the Arizona rally, like they got fucking tear gassed and shit. Because although I will say there were 2 people that like, kind of went up and were like tapping on the windows and shit. Like don't touch the buildings because that's
all the excuse they need.
Because that's an insurrection now. Yeah. So it's fucking aggravating. We're gonna get ourselves mad if we keep talking about it, but it's still important to address. So, we need more. We should have birth control. We should have contraception. We should be able to do abortions. We need more cream pies for everybody. That's been my stance for months, and I stand by it.
There you go.
Hence the picture of me going, no cream pies. They really out here acting like they don't get laid. So that's it. Yeah. You're loved. You're valid.
Take care of each other.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And
I got my PayPal link down below.
Oh my god.
It's okay. We can profit off of
it's fine.
Like women's loss of rights,
That's
right?
Fine. It's fine. Clicks.
The clicks. So, all right. Be safe out there. Drink water. Eat ass. Cut class. Smoke grass.
But maybe go to class.
No, go to class. Yeah. Cut.
But
ass.
also eat ass and smoke grass. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But go to class.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to class. All right. Pussy. I don't know. I always end up with something cursed. There's nothing cursed this time.
Remember when we talked about how the guy wants to touch boobs?
Yeah, that guy. That is a mood. That is a mood. All right. I think we're good. You guys have a good day. Bye.